Many of you are struggling, we feel that. Many of you are breaking through, as in a membrane that you're moving through. There are repeating patterns that move through past lives and your ancestors that helps your soul to understand more. It's a bit like Source sees us go through in our experiences and wants to tell us and say, it's gonna hurt, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And as a toddler, it's like we don't understand because we're still going through the same process over and over and over again. In a sense, when you go back to light source, it's going to accept you at your energy frequency. Emotions that move through each and every one of your minds, what you are feeling into the emotions, you're going to feel exhausted because you're trying to process so much information. They just said, hold on to your hats. Peter said, hold on to your hats. Interesting. Okay, let's have a little look. Not easy being on your planet, is it, at this particular time in space? Not easy at all. Many of you are struggling, we feel that. Many of you are breaking through, as in a membrane that you're moving through, and every time that you learn more information about yourself, you're breaking through into another dimension, another understanding of yourself. Some of you may think that you want to see it as the checkered flag and a trumpet being blown in the background to say well done, but it's never really that way. And it's interesting the journeys that you're all on, each and every one of you that hears this information. So let's begin. There is something called some information we wish to share with you, as many individuals have come to our attention of trying to understanding as in why that they are here. And trying to understand the illusion of time, where they are and why and what is happening to them. It's never easy, we understand, but as a soul, you chose to step forward, and you've heard this message before, that your soul needed those lessons that you have been traveling through. Your soul wanted to come here at this particular time, believe it or not. Yes, and some of you are struggling at this particular time on your planet and still trying to find the answers that you need to have answered to your questions. Finding your answer to your questions, as in looking at your repeating patterns that can keep being thrown up onto your planet into your lifetime. What is it? Ask yourself, what is still occurring in your lifetime? What is those questions that keep coming up for you? Remember, your soul came here to learn those lessons in this lifetime. You are meant to feel all the emotions. You are meant to be that human experiencing your experiences so that you can feel into what stops you in your track. You have heard the being emotionally triggered. This is the emotions that your body has been processing and still processing through time and space. The idea is when an emotion arises, it is to sit with the emotion, but of course the human reacts and responds straight away. Of course you do, because you are responsive in this way. But remember, it is the contrast that you have in your lifetime that helps to align who you are and to help you to have a greater understanding of yourself. You are not supposed to remember exactly what it is each lifetime that you come forward onto your planet with all the answers that you have gained so far from other lifetimes, but it is each time that you come here, there are more and more questions to have an understanding of your soul purpose and your soul self. It is in the contrast of your life feeling uncomfortable that you begin to align with your power, that you begin to connect to why you are here at this particular time. And those who hear this Those are the ones that find your balance within the masculine and feminine energy of alignment, that you move forward to help others, that you go on to serve others in whatever shape or form that you have and how you're going to become. You see, if you look at your soul self, if you look at the journey that you have been on, you'll have a greater understanding of who you are. When your soul is here and we are with you by your side and accompanying you through your journey of your life lessons and what you have learned from the time that you have been on planet Earth, you begin to learn more in the sense of why you were here. Some of you become enlightened while you're on your planet. It takes less time then for you to come back if you wish to do so. But this is where you are learning the soul lessons from your experiences, which you feel into. And we are aware it is not easy to feel into this. We are also aware when you become heightened with your sensory self, your psychic abilities, it becomes harder in a sense to move around others because it feels so much more. And that is because you've heightened your senses. You have become tuned in, as we say. You can feel others' energy, but make sure you do not hold on to others' energies. Make sure that these are just your own, as just your own is hard work on its own. You do not want to feel into other people's energies around the planet. You see, if you are totally tuned in constantly, it makes it harder for you to exist in your own reality of your dimension. And remember, from how you are feeling and those members around you, family, friends, colleagues, if you have their troubles also, you have then an overload or overwhelming feeling. So it is only really to be tuning into what is being brought up for yourself, which some of you have been led to believe it is selfish to feel this way. We hear many of you reaching out to us to help you, to enlighten you, to take you on this journey, to ask for forgiveness or to ask for money or to ask for those practical items or a house or a home or a partner or a lover or whatever it is. We are not exhausted with it, but we are wondering, why do you keep reaching out when only yourself can really create your reality? We are aware here to help you on your journey, of nudging you possibly in that direction, but many of you still stay stuck in your minds as in closed off, and many of you cannot see those miracles around you or how the universe or ourselves tend to help you. Many of you become fixed in your minds looking for something in a sense of what you think or how you think something is going to turn up in your life. It is the shape and form of what you think is going to turn up in your life. For example, you may wish to have shall we say, maybe a partner, and then when this individual shows up, they maybe have not come in that shape and form that you are most attracted to, say, for instance. Or, for instance, you may wish for money, and then instead of money, you have something else that's given to you, and then some of you are still disappointed because you don't want to receive it as in a physical gift, as in chocolates, or even a thank you. So it is for yourself to imagine how you wish for something to turn up in your life, rather than sending out messages of SOS to us, when sometimes we get this quite confused with what we think that you wish for or want, and then you end up having something else. So we have heard many of you around the world that have wished for change. And then when change is beginning to be created, as in family structures or relationship structures or work structures or other structures are beginning to collapse and crumble around you, you then worry that no one's listening to you. But we heard you the first time, as in you wished for change. We are just providing the change for you. But maybe it's not coming in the shape and form of how you would like it to be delivered. Yes, we understand that it's most difficult on your planet to manage those relationships or the interactions with others because of trying to understand where they are coming from, and also are trying to understand yourself. It becomes complicated. It becomes complicated because you don't want to upset somebody, or you feel somebody's purposely doing something to you. However your mind may see a situation, the other individual may not see it in that way, may see it very differently. And we understand this. We understand that one individual could see themselves in many different ways. In a sense, that if we were to ask you now to step back and just look back at the last year of your lives, how much you may have changed. Because you have changed. Some of you have stepped away from your old way of life and living, and now struggling in a sense of the fear of what is to come. Why not just be in the moment of embracing that change and knowing that you asked for change so that we can help guide you? Many of you do not listen in or tune in to the energy that's being given to you. It makes it difficult when you're stuck in your heads. It becomes a fog in the sense that you cannot hear us assisting you or directing you or giving you the direction. We are here to create those subtle shifts and changes and to help provide the light to show you maybe a direction that possibly could work easier. But the human then tends to not follow the flow of energy. You make it more complicated by then doubting and then trying something else and then wondering why it doesn't work. You see, we try to assist you from this side. We try to give you guidance. We try to aid you. Your soul has been with us before. We've had deep conversations before you came onto planet Earth, telling us what you wish to learn and how it could be of useful for you. We're aware. Many of you, when you pass over, are in shock. How simple it was just to pass through. How simple it was as the process. And many of you, when you meet us, you are surprised. Because you're, does this really exist? And then you still have this doubting in your mind. It takes a little bit of time to flush that through your system, in a sense, to be with you, to hold that space. And when you're ready, then we will talk and walk you through the whole process and to give you a greater understanding of what your soul learned in that lifetime. And so then when you step forward, that chosen lifetime was chosen by yourself. There are many, as we say, you imagine like costumes or outfits or many roles that you are given, as in, would you like to do this in this lifetime? Or would you like to do that? How would you like to come in? What gender would you like to be? Whereabouts in the world would you like to be? You have this opportunity to decide and choose. And again, still many of your souls still differs, and then you have a little shove from us and you're placed back on the planet. Many of you screaming and say, I'm not ready. Imagine it's like a tube or a slide as you come back to the earth. Not ready. I haven't totally processed my last lifetime. I haven't finished that last relationship. Or I didn't complete walking across the road. Or I haven't met that love of my life. Blah, 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 blah. We hear this constantly. We know many of you are laughing at this, but it's true. And there are many who accomplish what they need to accomplish in any lifetime. And your souls progress. They process and they progress each time that you come here. And each time, hopefully, we hope for all of you that you learn something in that lifetime about yourself. But some of you tend to numb it. And we are aware of it by numbing through drugs or alcohol or sugar even, or buying objects, or not facing what it is that you wish to face because it's too uncomfortable to tune into the heart center to feel those emotions. Sometimes it's easier. Let's go out and buy something. Let's dumb down that feeling of feeling inadequate maybe, or whatever those emotions are. There are too many to even count or to say. There are so many more because your sensory system has explored it and you have grown with it. You are the lucky ones to come backwards and forwards to feel into it. We know life can be hard. We witness from where we are and we document the information. We're not interested in documenting when you go to the bathroom or having a wash or anything else. We are more interested in when you have those moments, when you have those aha moments, and you realize that's what you needed to learn. Because those are the moments that your soul is progressing. Those are the moments that you're moving forward. And those are the moments we rejoice. We ring a little bell here and we clap and we cheer and we're like, yes, finally they have that information. Phew, when they come back again, we won't have to go through that again with them. All the information is documented, it's scribed here. Each of you has a scribe that takes the information. We're aware of each and every one of you. You all have numbers, yes. You might say that's terrible, but it's easier to understand where you are at any given time. It's a bit like, let's give them some visuals. You imagine a map and the little pin on each part of the planet where each and every one of you are. And then there's another map that sort of shows you where you're progressing. And another layer of information when you arrive here too. There are many layers because each time that you progress, you move through another dimension of time and space. And it's as easy as that. You see, the more that you grow, you'll travel through that dimension and you'll wonder, what does she mean by traveling through that dimension? Well, the dimension meaning is just another layer of understanding of your soul self. It's just another understanding. The more that you push down your feelings and emotions and are fearful of change, you do not ascend, you do not rise, you do not learn, you do not grow. You continuously make the same mistakes. And we forgive you, and we are here to hold that space for you. We do this job, we are by your sides, we are documenting the information. We know at times it is difficult for yourselves. Would we want to be in your shoes? No. We're happy to serve here. We're happy to do this job. We document where you are at any given time, your progress, your understanding of your soul self. We're always here listening to your thoughts, helping to try to make things differently for you. But it is down to yourself. If you are closed off, you're just going to have the same repeat. If you live in fear, it is the same. We are here to help you to enrich yourselves and to expand and to grow. We are aware we have spoken for some time now. We feel this in your heart center and in your lungs. We also feel it within your ribs, also where you hold everything there in your physical body. Your physical body is holding on to your expressions in a sense of you tuning into really what is it that you need. You have grief in your body. You are holding grief still in your body. We're aware of this. You're aware that you are a light being as such. You're aware that you feel different from other people on your planet, and also trying to connect as well in the sense of grounding yourself on this planet as the human being. We are aware that your energy is expansive. We're also aware of finding the reason why you are here, but we're also aware there has been change in the sense of how you begin to connect to others more now. You're aware that your role, your job is to connect to others. You said about trust or faith. At times it dwindles, but other times it is stronger than others. But your physical body is not assisting you with this at this particular time. Ask for that light, please, to step into your physical body, to flow through it, to heal you. It would work better. It is interesting that you said about a catastrophe. Your planet is always in catastrophe mode. It is always in fear-based, your planet. On your Earth planet, it makes sense that how you feel as you are feeding into the energy of others on your planet. You're a receptor. We can feel this. Your role is here to help others as they move through this planet in time. It is that you just allow yourself to be there, available to others that may reach out. You won't have to work hard at this, as we will move through you. We will work with you as we are within the light energy. We will help you with the healing. We will send light and love to the impactfulness of your physical human being, but it holds grief. There is still part of you that is holding grief, then comes up as debris of darker energy in your body. Please do not feel that you are separate from anything, anyone. It is that you are whole, you are one with us. It is just that you exist in a different dimension to ourselves. We are always connected with each and every one of you. It is just your planet sometimes creates those boundaries where it separates you from belief. Question of ancestral lineage, of trauma and trauma bonds moving through physical bloodlines and families and past lives. The work that anyone does at any particular time helps to heal it, as if the domino effect of where you flick the domino over, it rolls backwards and forwards. So moving forward in time to clear energy ties, and also moving back. This is what is known as the multiverse of healing, but there are many layers to this, because there's never one thing in particular that is held within the ancestral line. You see, if you take one physical human being and you try to resolve some of the issues or the understanding that you have, so understanding on one level of one issue, and then once you uncover that particular issue, as in having an understanding of it, then there is always going to be another deeper layer. So it's never that the actual one issue is just wiped clear, the slate is clean as such, and an understanding. Trying to help to understand this, but it is that whatever is released in the family, let's do this. Okay. Say, for instance, as you are female and you're asking this question, say, for instance, if there was in your family, and there are many that Anne has worked with, and we're using her imagery now of her mind, if there was somebody that stepped forward and an individual had experienced domestic violence, if that particular person moves through that and looks through in this lifetime of healing themselves and looking at why this possibly has happened, looked at many avenues and many sides to this situation, they may clear that level of understanding in themselves, as in, how did this happen and what did they learn from it from themselves to progress. And not that anyone in particular is deserving of any violence, emotional, physical, psychological at all. But suppose that individual moves through that and has an understanding that this is a repeating pattern going back to, say, their mother, and then following the trail to their grandmother and following all the way back as ancestral bloodlines, the lineage. And then having another understanding that there could be a past life attached to this. Well, once there is an understanding of this from the individual that may show up today, of having that exploration of why this has happened or some repeating pattern, that's one level of understanding. But once that level of understanding of that individual, then there could be much more or many more other levels of understanding. It uncovers them, it unravels like a ball of wool. There are possibly many more other issues or examples or lessons that the individual soul travels through. So it's more in depth, but yes, the understanding will move through the bloodline, the lineage, the ancestrals. It will move through this. Say, for instance, Anne had a client today that we are aware of, and her fearfulness of how she moves forward in life, this fear of losing her property and money. Now, her grandmother stepped forward today to discuss this through Anne and her granddaughter. And there was great conversation on it was a repeating pattern of fear through each of the women going back in life. Now, so this woman today is fearful of losing her house. She has an understanding that possibly it comes further back. But the lesson which came up today, which was unusual, she said, or was not expecting the answer, this client who sits in front of her. But Anne channeled the grandmother, and the grandmother said, you have been missing home or love or a partner or family, but it resides within you. And of course, it was more in depth than this. The client sat there and then realized what she thought was the fear, as in ancestral, linking back through female family members, that actually what it was that the family needed to learn, and these other women, was actually to feel safe, was to feel home in their heart. It was more to do with this rather than the bricks and mortar. The moment this client tuned into this and felt it in her physical body, of these emotions in her chest, that was the healing part that rippled through the family. She had to have a greater understanding of what it actually meant. What was the reason behind the fear? But each family member had to unpick what was going on for them at the time. The grandmother was best pleased because it healed something also that was affecting the grandmother, and she let out a sigh of relief, in a sense that she also, that part of her, that essence of her soul, also was allowed to breathe gently again, because this was her issue too, about learning that love and family was all in the heart of feeling safe, not that it was about the bricks and mortar of losing a house, but that was the ripple effect of the fear in the family going back. And of course, there was a past life there too. You see, there are repeating patterns that move through past lives and your ancestors that helps your soul to understand more. But today, in just a couple of moments, this individual, she let out a huge sigh. This was the granddaughter sitting opposite Anne, and also the grandmother that stepped forward. In spirit, they both sighed together, and they both wept together. And so, because of the understanding, there was a release of energy. and no longer a repeating cycle. Which means as this woman, her client, moves forward, that it will no longer exist, this ancestral issue trauma. We hope that answers your question. Exhausted, she said. Exhausted. There isn't a time span as such that we say, oh, in 2 days, in 3 months, in 2 years, that how you're going to feel. This is as fast as slow as it's going to feel for you. The process is that you're an emotional being and you need to feel into these emotions, which we are aware that you have. You've cried many tears, which is quite new for yourself. As we go back many years, you were in protective mode where you held on to things. So you have many emotions to spill out of you, like the saucepan with the lid bubbling over with the emotions. You are leaking out through your eyes your emotions and the debris of everything that you have been thinking and feeling, and the emotions you have felt through the trauma that you are surviving through. We say surviving and not thriving because your mind feels you are trying to survive, where you are thriving. You're going to move through this episode, and as you said, you are exhausted. Of course, emotions that move through each and every one of your minds, what you are feeling into the emotions, you're going to feel exhausted because you're trying to process so much information. Sometimes you need to just let it flow through your physical form and just allow yourself to ride it out. This is the real awakening. These are the moments that when you feel broken, that you are growing and evolving the most, that you will never allow this process ever to happen again to you. We're aware of your individual story and we're aware of what's to come, but you will not appreciate it unless you move through this. And yes, we are aware that you may argue with us on this, but trust us. There is so much more that you will be attending to serve others, but first you have to experience these emotions and feelings. We would suggest you allow yourself to ride through this and not to resist so much. It is just to take it is. This is your journey at this particular time. It is to serve the wave at this moment, not to fight or battle against it, which you have been. This is your battle at this moment in time, and there will be some wounds, yes, but you also have to wait to let them to heal through those wounds before you move forward into a new existence. You're in the process of being created in a way of the Japanese ceramics and porcelain that cracks and breaks and then stuck together with gold. This is the method that you are going through, this breakage at the moment of letting go of what no longer has been serving you for years. And when we look at your personal lifetime, it has not been serving you at all. But you have made do because you formed and shaped and created this imagery in your mind of what you thought happiness was in your life. I feel that you are starting to understand really what is life and what have you been through. And now the new you is formulating, but first it has to feel as if it's broken to some degree. And we are aware this individual does feel broken, but then once you are broken, it's about repairing slowly, but also healing in that motion of that time. It is to feel into what you have been through so that then you can begin to heal. There will be a moment when you will no longer cry so hard, of course, but that is not yet. Okay, love that question. Love that question because it does make sense. The more that you become enlightened, it's harder to be angry at others maybe, or sometimes you'll have that moment where because you become so understanding of like, oh, well, maybe it's because of this. You know, it gives us an enlightenment in the sense of we start looking at it from a different perspective. When I died, when I connected to source energy, this beautiful light energy of knowing so much in those short couple of minutes that happened. And it happened 3 times now. Well, documented, there's another one, but anyway. Feeling that I felt so connected. I knew all the answers. I could see why I was here. You know, it's just a different place. And that in the heart, I felt so at home. And I didn't want to return, which I had guilt for so long when I had a 5 and a 7-year-old. And I was saying as a mother, I didn't want to return. And when I did return, I felt so much pain from the actual injuries that I'd gone through. And then I came back and I was like, I could hear and see and feel everybody's feelings through that near-death experience. And a lot of people who have near-death experience go through something very similar. You go somewhere else and you feel so connected, you feel so loved, and you may have not received that love growing up as a child, depending on your, you know, your background or whatever, if you're unlucky, whatever. But the biggest thing that I learned, and the biggest thing I was having this conversation today, was literally that we have to have that contrast. The soul that comes here wants to keep growing and expanding, and the way it grows and expands is through contrast. It's a bit like having a toddler that just doesn't listen. That, you know, I had my grandson today, and he's just turned 1, and he took 2 metal spoons and he was banging them and stuff, and that, which was lovely, and we're clapping him and saying well done. And then he turned around and he went to whack himself in the head, and you're like, no, don't do that because it's going to hurt. But he didn't know what was going to come, so he banged himself in the head and he cried, and I couldn't stop him from doing that. He had to go through that. So my son said he won't do it again because he's learnt now, and I said he's only 1, he doesn't understand it. So he still kept on banging these spoons together, which was really good, and it was so cool, and he was really pleased himself, smiling. And again, he whacked himself in the head, and we're like, oh my God, does he not learn? And that's a bit like Source sees us go through in our experiences and wants to tell us and say, it's going to hurt, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And as a toddler, it's like we don't understand because we're still going through the same process over and over and over again. And yes, we know, as you know, my grandson gets older, he'll learn. But that could be years to come. And this is what happens on the planet. Source, God, whatever we want to call it, that energy can see what we're doing, knows what we're doing. We know that we're here. We want to expand this natural thirst to learn, because that's what our soul does when it becomes aware. It wants to grow, wants to experience things. But we can't pick and choose and go, well, I don't want to have that illness, and I don't want to meet that partner, and I don't want that to happen. Because how else are we going to feel that contrast? We have to go through these experiences. And yes, there will be some on the planet that will think, oh my God, they're the dark light on the planet, that you know, they're the ones doing the sex trafficking, or they're the ones that are involved in child abuse, or those are the ones that are making money out of people, or illnesses are being placed on the planet and they're creating all these, you know, whatever viruses or whatever it is. And we can be as angry as we like. And we might look at them and go, well, you know, they're not facing any burden, whatever. But we don't have to think about that, because that's their judgment. That's where they're going. That's where they will be judged for that. But for us as individuals, we have to have the contrast in our lives to know when we don't like something, to know that we've grown through something and we move through it. And, you know, if we go down the avenue of judging others, then that means we're tapping into that negative, lower energy. And that means we're as bad as them. And I hate using bad, negative, positive, whatever, but it just means that we bring our frequency, our vibration to that level. But the shinier that you shine, the more understanding you have about this soul journey, you are going to see that in others. And you may not like it how they are, but that's not us to judge that. It's not us for changing that. It's us to help those who reach out for assistance. It's those who are naturally making that progression. But there's always going to be that on this planet, because we came here to feel the contrast. We came here to feel the hunger, lack of money, or homelessness, or whatever it is. We came here to feel that so that our soul continues to progress. And hopefully through that experience, we then go on to serve others. We then go and help others. I have a very strong feeling that didn't answer your question or didn't come close to it. But, you know, the minute we start fearing, when we go down the avenue of fearing what's to come, then we end up numbing ourselves from the light. So that for us personally, we have to find our light in our day and find what we want to keep elevating, rather than looking at others who may be the darkest of dark. And when I'm sitting here and I've got someone in front of me that this actually did happen, where there were a paedophile sitting in front of me, and they sat here and asked me literally, can they contact somebody? And obviously not going to say, I'm a paedophile and I want you to connect with this person. It was a child. And it was the child that came in spirit and said, I don't want to talk to them. And I said, well, can I ask the reason why? And they said they abused me. And I was like, oh my God. And this child was in a wheelchair. And this actually was a family member who actually had abused this child on this side. When I tuned into the energy of the person sitting in front of me, who I class as a paedophile because they went on to commit more crime against children, their energy felt so unsettled, so uncomfortable. It was as if having fear running through their veins. It was the most uncomfortable feeling. So for them, so a person that, and I've sat in front of people who have been murderers as well, when I tune into their energy, it's so low and dense and dark. I feel so uncomfortable sitting with it because I'm the opposite. I would not want to reside within their physical form. So I don't feel they go off and not get any punishment as such, but it's not for us to judge them. It's like they will be judged in a sense. When you go back to light source, it's going to accept you at your energy frequency. Can you imagine if you are lower, denser frequency, that you are a murderer or a pedophile or whatever it is, that you've committed great crime against humanity? Their energy is so low, there's no way that they can sort of, not necessarily repent, they said, someone just said here, there's no way they're going to reach light source. Whereas when we reach light source, it's a total different frequency and energy. They'll never get that because of what they have done to others. So that's where the justice takes part in those individuals, how they're punished. So they will be punished, but it's not for us as humans to do that. It's to do it. I don't know about heaven and hell, but I know about God, divine, and the source is a lighter frequency. But they'll never reach there because they will never elevate to that energy source, that level. It's a good point. It's a good point. It makes sense. There are moments when you're going to feel disconnected, of course, because you're experiencing the difficulties in life. It's never easy in the sense of your physical being present and receiving the contrast of what it is that you feel that you need at any given time. We are aware of this. Of course, there is an uncomfortability. And sometimes there is always a busyness in the everyday life that all of you lead. We are aware that some of you find it difficult in the sense to do that dieting or that exercising or that make a new regime. We are aware of this because there is so much distraction on your planet. Of course there is. It was meant to be this way in a sense. Maybe there's an overload of sensory system on your planet too, that again is at hand, and maybe it doesn't need to be so busyness around you. There is noise around you, and we don't necessarily mean the noise that your ears can hear, but there is also the thoughts that many of you pick up. Many of you on your planet may feel very down and have no idea as why. It could be that your sensory system, your intuitive side, your psychic side, the empathic side is so open that you're experiencing everyone's feelings and emotions. And demonstrated today something. Someone was driving on the motorway, and for a moment there was a question asked, and Anne tuned into the vehicles around her and gave information. And she had picked up on 20 vehicles around her, and they behaved exactly as she said. Watch out, this one's going to move in front of you now. No, that's impossible, her son said. Watch, she said, as she was tuning into the mindset of the individuals and the thoughts, because she was opened and listening into their minds. Now, many of you will find this. When you become intuitive, you become inquisitive. And through being inquisitive, you tend to tune into everyone, whether you like it or not. You may not even realize that you are so open that you're excited. It's like being a child in a toy shop, that you're so excited that you are feeling into what's going on in the world, and you allow your mind to wander through different countries, different people. There is social media that you have that you're tuning into, and there's always an undercurrency or undertone of what may be playing out. You see, it's not just what your ears hear, there is other information that's being played out, almost like channeling to some degree. So there is this repeating pattern on your planet that many of you are fearful, that you look for what is happening to keep yourself safe, which means that you're listening to the disasters, of course, and you're reading into the disasters and hearing them. But many of these disasters are being repeatedly played out on your planet. It is to lower the frequency of the individuals on your planet. And of course, when you lower frequency, it also affects your immunity. Have you ever thought why it is there is so much fear being portrayed on your planet, so that you hear it, that you receive it, that you tune into it? And once you tune into it, it creates a deeper, darker fear. This affects your immunity. This affects your physical form, your mental health when you tune in to the disasters. Not everything that you see is everything that is truthfully being played out. There is other frequencies on your planet, of lower frequencies of individuals that may want you to think what is happening, but it really isn't happening. That you are just watching what they want you to see and to hear. So for many of you have become quite inquisitive, intuitive, the empaths, the psychics. Some of you may be feeling a little bit down at times because you're receiving the wave of information that has been sending out that others may not be able to see or hear or feel. So it may affect your energy. So it is advisable from time to time, we're always going to suggest that you take moments for yourself where you just allow your energy just to balance out, to find your alignment, which just means you tune in to yourself rather than tuning out to others. That you become balanced in your energy, as in finding your own truth and what feels right for you. It is that you take time, we would say meditation, but it is to sit with yourself, the power of yourself. It is that sometimes it helps that you have maybe those cards, angelic or affirmation cards, whatever the cards you wish to use, that gives you the connection to your spirit guides that can guide you, to give you the answers that you might need when you're feeling uncomfortable. You see, there is so much of reaching out externally to others that you are only hearing the interpretation of their thoughts and feelings. Whereas when you have direct connection yourself and to work on that, then you have direct connections to your guides. Then you can tune in for your story, your own individual. So we would suggest this question, but be mindful of cleansing your energy and just be mindful of just yourself. There may be others also that have ill thoughts, or in a sense of any jealousy, or those around you that may feel down, and you are picking up on their frequency too. So always tune in to your own self. What isn't yours, send back to somebody else. You don't have to know this individual, but just push away the energy that no longer serves you. You do not need to hold on to it. And every day you can start fresh. There is no rules or regulations that you didn't start that diet yesterday, or that new job yesterday, or that journaling yesterday, or that meditation yesterday, or whatever it is. Every day is a new day. Every minute is a new minute. Every second is a new second. We hope this There we go. So if you just find a moment, just taking a moment now, just allowing yourself to be in your breath. Just following your breath, allowing your breath to come in and out of your physical body. Just taking a moment for this meditation. Just gently closing those eyes and just allowing that breath as you move in and out, just to gently come in and out of your physical body. Taking that breath in, as you breathe in that breath, you're drawing in the energy around. You're pulling the energy in. Now you're going to drop it into the physical body and allow it just to move through your body. Just breathing in and breathing out. When you breathe out, just allow yourself the extension of your soul self. You're just breathing out, pushing out the air and allowing yourself to connect. You're joining the energy around you and you're bringing the energy in, backwards and forwards, letting it expand. And just like the jellyfish of auric energy around you, you're moving the energy. It flows through your physical form, in and out, expansion. Like the wings of a butterfly as it opens and closes. Feeling that as you breathe in and you breathe out. And just like a butterfly, as it gently allows itself just to settle down now. As it allows itself just to gently perch, just gently on a little flower. And as that flower is connected to the energy of the earth, and just feeling like with the trees around, just imagine like your soul self, that you're just like this tree, feeling strong, feeling that wisdom. Feeling as you breathe in and as you breathe out, visualizing that tree. You've seen many trees before. And just feeling it as you breathe in and breathe out, almost bringing in the energy of that tree, coming in down through the core of your body. Coming all the way down as you breathe down through your physical body, breathing at your own pace. And as you begin to connect to the planet Earth, it's like you can feel your roots through the soles of your feet, really connecting to the Earth energy. It's almost as if when you imagine that as you breathe in, you're drawing in the energy and you can smell and feel the Earth energy, that soil, that rich nutritional soil that's feeding into the roots of this tree. Feel the soul almost underneath the soles of your feet, feeling how your root system within your soul, as it pushes down through the soles of your feet, down into the earth, as you're allowing yourself to connect. Feeling that as you let yourself connect, really grounding, sending your roots through the soles of the feet, going all the way down, and you begin to connect to the earth's crystals. Feeling the energy on the planet, feeling it as that energy moves through the planet. Almost like that sensation, like a gentle wave, as it sways through the frequency of energy. Feeling the changes in the seasons around you, just witnessing the changes of the planet of where you are at this particular time. Wherever you are in the world, just tuning into the energy of the earth frequency. And just feeling now the natural elements of the earth rising up as you take your next in-breath. Bringing in your breath, bringing it up through the soles of your feet, moving it within the legs. Coming up through the trunk of the body and allowing that gentle pulsation of energy as it flows through the physical body. Releasing energy as it moves up through the spinal fluid and the spinal cord. Feeling it in your back now as this gentle rising sensation as it moves up through the back of your back. Feeling like an energy as it rising up, like a flower that drinks up through the soil of the earth and the water that it needs. You're bringing it up through your body. You can feel it now within the pelvis energy area, as you can just feel that sensation, gentle sensation as it bubbles up, as it ripples up, coming all the way up. Gently now into the stomach region as you're breathing in and you're breathing out. You can feel yourself expanding out fully now as you begin to connect to the energy around you. Opening up, really expanding. It's almost like this tree as you are expanding. You can feel that this tree with its branches stretching out to the side, overhead, feeling how as you're reaching up to the sky with the branches. Almost imagine that your arms are like the branches of a tree. Expansion of your soul self as you're connecting to the elements of energy around you. As you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, you can feel the energy as if you're interweaving within the energy fields around you and really connecting. bringing in all the energy, the sunlight as it gently just bathing your body, that warmth, that sunniness, that shining, that shimmeriness, as you can just feel into the energy around you. As you're stretching up your energy, feel as if the branches are within your arms, as if they're stretching up high above your head. You can feel this expansion as you allow at the top of your head, your crown chakra, to fully open, expanding wide open like a flower, gently as it opens up its petals, really shining out and opening up like a satellite dish, as if connecting to the energy fields around you. And as your mind is still and your mind is aware of who you are right now, and as you connect, as your mind is quite open, you're expanding up and out, almost like a web as you move up and move out, like the Wi-Fi of your energy solar system. And connecting to source energy, allowing that brightness of light energy to gently pulsate within your physical body, this beautiful white light as it gently flows through your body, as if you can feel it, as if that you are stretching out and pulsating like the jellyfish, or you're pulsating your wings like a beautiful butterfly. And as you reach out, you can feel how your fingertips are touching through the different dimensions of time and space. Feel this elevation in your heart center as you're allowing yourself to fully connect to love energy, in receivership of receiving love and light into your heart, allowing your third eye to feel, to see as far as you can. Be mindful of your energy as you allow yourself to fully extend out. Be mindful that wherever your mind is distracted to, your energy will go to. So it's you to manage to be mindful of your peace, your harmony at this time. And within the angelic realm around you, as the angels are there with their wings wide open, you are in receivership of receiving knowledge and wisdom, receiving that frequency of love and light, bathing your physical body with this white iridescent light that gently vibrates and moves through your body. Receiving any healing that you wish to receive, allowing the energy of love and light to gently move into your porous body, feeling the energy of wherever it focuses on right now. You're breathing it in and breathing out that energy of light through your cells, feeling that cleansing sensation, almost as if you're being bathed in a bath of mineral salts or in the sea of many salts and minerals, like that floating sensation as you let go and surrender, having that total faith that you will be caught if you needed to fall. You will not fall far, as angelic energy is around each and every one of you, feeling that the answers that you need to any questions that you may ask will come in almost delivered like a message straight into your physical heart. So you're extending fully out in receivership of love and light, feeling that iridescent energy of light moving through your physical body. It's almost like on a high frequency, like a sonic waves that the dolphins and bats hear, and feeling as it moves through your ears, coming into your physical heart center, as you're allowing yourself to receive. Many guides and angelic realms stepping forward to send the information to you, so that you may see so much clearer, and that you might hear so much more, and that you will hear and feel into your physical form the light and love you need to receive. As you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, feeling your energy of expansion, sending out that energy and receiving what it is that you need to receive, almost like this bubble of light around yourself, as if that you are stepping into the next chapter of your soul self. This is a new chapter for yourself. Take courage, have strength, knowing that you are being guided. As you are there in that physical realm now, within your breath moving within your body, that you exist in all universes and dimensions of time and space. as you are in receivership of love and light from source, cleansing and clearing and feeling into that vibrational energy, allowing it to move through your physical form, almost as if it falls over your shoulders like a waterfall of light coming down from the top of your head as it gently moves in your spine, as all the energy, as it clears and cleanses your organs and bathes them in love and light, healing light, clearing, coming down through your physical form like this trunk of a tree once where this butterfly landed gently with her wings, as she gently closes her wings. As you're in your breath now, physical form, you're beginning to come back into your seat where you started from the journey of healing love and light. On the count of 3, you begin to feel into your feet and begin to feel grounded. 1, start to feel your feet. 2, gently come back into your breath in your heart. And 3, when you're ready, opening your eyes, come back, wherever you've been, come back.